The Story of the Spirit Encountered by Fujiwara no Kanesuke, number 7. Once upon a time, there was a nobleman named Fujiwara no Kanesuke, who was renowned for his intense desire for beautiful women. He was known for his relentless pursuit of any woman whose appearance was reputed to be exceptionally lovely. Determined to see every woman of beauty, he pursued even the daughters of common people, not leaving anyone out. One day, he heard of a certain young woman whose beauty was described as unparalleled and mysterious. With great effort, Kanesuke managed to secretly abduct her. Since he had no suitable place to hide her, he chose an old abandoned mountain lodge in the northern hills. Inside this dilapidated place was a large granary, with one side of the door broken. The granary had no flooring and was in a very poor condition. He laid down a single tatami mat inside and spent the night there with the woman. Suddenly, a fierce thunderstorm erupted with loud claps of thunder. Kanesuke, frightened, drew his sword and pushed the woman to the back of the granary while he tried to get a handle on the situation. As the storm gradually subsided and dawn approached, Kanesuke looked back at the woman only to find that she had vanished, leaving only her clothing and a trace of her presence. Terrified and bewildered, Kanesuke quickly fled without even taking the woman's clothing. After this incident, it became known that the granary was haunted. It was surmised that the strange occurrences were not due to the thunderstorm, but rather due to the presence of a spirit or demon residing in the granary. Hence, it was advised to avoid such places that were not well understood, and staying overnight in such locations was strongly discouraged. Thus, the story has been passed down. The Story of the Spirit That Devoured the Woman at Matsubara in the Imperial Palace, number 8. Once upon a time, during the reign of Emperor Komatsu, 3 young women were walking through Matsubara in the Palace of Martial Virtue. It was the night of August 17th, and the moon was exceptionally bright. At that time, a man appeared by the base of a pine tree. He approached one of the women, taking her by the hand and engaging her in conversation beneath the pine tree. The other 2 women waited for her to return, thinking she was merely chatting. However, as time passed and she did not come back, they became concerned when they no longer heard her voice. They went to check and found that neither the woman nor the man was there. All that remained was the woman's detached foot. Shocked and frightened, the 2 women ran to the guards' quarters and reported the incident. The guards, alarmed, went to the scene but found nothing except the woman's severed foot. When the people gathered and examined the scene, they realized that the woman had been attacked by a demon that had taken human form. Thus, it was advised that one should be very cautious and avoid unfamiliar places where strangers might lure them, as such places could be dangerous and treacherous. Thus, the story has been passed down. Tales of the Oil Thief at the Ninjū-dono. Once upon a time, during the reign of Emperor Yosei, there was an incident at Ninjū-dono where someone would steal the lamp oil from the platform every night around midnight. This continued to occur night after night. The emperor, finding this matter disturbing, declared, "How shall we reveal this?" At that time, a person named Kotada, also known as Ben Gensuke, who was a court noble, suggested it would be difficult to catch this thief in the act. Perhaps we could reveal a small part of it. The emperor, pleased with this suggestion, commanded, "You must definitely reveal it." That night, during the heavy rains of March, when it was still dark even in the well-lit areas, let alone in the shadowy recess of the South Hall, Kotada stealthily climbed up from Nakahashi and stood by the side door of the North Hall, hiding silently. He thought, "Will the thief come at the hour of the ox?" As he was waiting, he heard the sound of footsteps and saw the thief coming to steal the lamp oil. Although the thief's footsteps were heavy, his figure was not visible. Only the lamp oil was floating near the South Hall's door. Kotada rushed to the door of the South Hall and, lifting his foot, kicked it strongly. He struck the thief's foot, causing the lamp oil to spill. The thief fled towards the South Hall. Kotada then returned to the court, lit a lamp, and upon inspecting his foot, found that his big toenail was broken and bleeding. At dawn, when he examined the place he had kicked, he saw that the area was covered with a lot of blood, which had flowed towards the South Hall's wall. When he opened the wall to investigate, he found only blood with no other trace of the thief. The emperor was deeply moved by Kotada's bravery. Although Kotada was not from a military family, he was wise, thoughtful, and unafraid of danger. Thus, he managed to reveal the thief even in such darkness and risk. After that, there was no more theft of the lamp oil. Thus, the story has been passed down. Tales of the Venerable Ban of the Kashiwade. Once upon a time, during a period when a severe cough illness spread throughout the land, affecting everyone from high to low, leaving no one unscathed, there was a man from the Kashiwade family. Having finished all his domestic matters, he went out of his house around the hour of the boar, after everyone had settled down and quieted. At the gate, he saw a person dressed in a red outer robe and wearing a crown, with a demeanor that was extremely noble and fearsome. Noticing the person's imposing presence, he thought, "Though I do not know who this is, they must not be of low status." The man then said, "Do you know who I am?" The Kashiwade replied, "I do not know you." The man continued, "I am Banno Yoshio, a former daijin, great minister, of this country, who was exiled to Izu province and died early. I have become a deity of plague and pestilence. Though I committed a grave sin and received severe punishment, I had many benefits from serving the court. Therefore, this year, as the plague is spreading throughout the land and everyone in the country is on the brink of illness and death, I have come to intercede for you. This is why there is no longer any space left for the cough illness to spread. I have come to inform you of this matter. Do not be afraid." Saying this, he vanished as if erased. The Kashiwade, having heard this, returned home trembling and shared the story. From then on, it was known that Bandaijin had become a deity of plague and pestilence. However, although many people were aware of this, why was it only the Kashiwade who received this revelation? There may have been reasons for this. Thus, the story has been passed down.